welcome to the Parenting Show. I'm your host, Juliet. Together with my co-host, Chep, we have a great show lined up for you, so stay with us. I'll be taking you through Parenting 101, and for now, remember, there is no such thing like a perfect parent, so just be you.
And yeah, as Juliet has said, there's nothing like being a perfect parent to your child. Just be a real parent. Welcome to the show once again. Thank you for tuning in. And yes, we are on My Story. I want to introduce my guest today for my story. He is a gentleman by the name Patrick. Before we go to Patrick, I want to big up CDI Gadgets for coming through with my phone stand and the ring light. Without wasting more time, it's time for My Story with Patrick. What's good, beautiful people? Welcome and welcome to the Parenting Show. My name is Chepchumba Cherus, and we are on My Story. With me is an amazing gentleman. He's called Patrick. Patrick has a baby who is able differently, and he will be sharing his story on the show on his journey. Hi, Patrick.
Hey, hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Patrick Carobio. I'm a father to a child with a condition known as cerebral palsy. She's 10 years now. She's such a big girl now. Her birthday was just the other month, that is in July. So she turned 10 years. It's been quite a long journey, not an easy one. At first, I actually didn't know what my child was suffering from until later. It was around 5 years, or 4 to 5 years. That's the time I came into terms on what my child is suffering from. So it hasn't been easy. On the other hand, it has been a journey, learning a lot. Actually, right now, I would say she has taught me a lot. Yes.
And wow. So okay, let me take you back kidogo. So when she was born, was she okay? Ama alikuwa na any challenges? Ama did the mom have challenges during birth ama pregnancy?
She was born. It was just a normal delivery. That is just the normal birth. But the second day she started developing another condition known as jaundice. So we took her to hospital, and we were told that we shouldn't worry, since the nurses now thought that jaundice is not a big condition as we would raise an alarm. So tuliambiwa turudi nyumbani tuende kuotesha mtoto jua, and that's all. The second day the condition got worse. We went back there. This time it was an emergency. They referred us to Kenyatta National Hospital. So tulimpeleka Kenyatta na immediately alifika, alikuwa a bit weak because alikuwa ameacha pia kunyonya. So it wasn't that easy for us. Vile tulifika Kenyatta, alienda straight to the wards. That is where now she started the treatment for jaundice. After around 10 days, the child was stable. The jaundice had vanished, as in the yellowing of the body had vanished, everything. And now, as the doctor wrote a discharge summary, that's the time she said that after some time we'll need to go back for a clinic. Little did we know that it will be such a long journey. And I remember when we went back, or rather when my wife went back, because she's the one who took the child back to clinic. That's the time he could hear the doctors mention something like cerebral palsy, vitu kama hivyo, but hatukuwa tunajua.
Yeah. Na hiyo time, okay, just go on.
When she came back, he told me that the doctor said the child will have to start therapy sessions. This time she's around 2 months. Vile tulianza sasa therapy, we didn't even know therapy ni nini. For me, I thought it's like when she starts the therapy sessions, after like a week or 2, shingo yake itakuwa imeshika. So ilifika mahali and I was like, what is happening to my daughter? Bila sasa tulianza therapy kabisa, that's the time now the doctor would keep on talking to my wife because mostly yeye ndio alikuwa anampeleka therapy. So ilifika mahali and I got concerned. This time now I'm talking about until around 3-4 years, because mtoto wako ameketi hapo. Ndio nilifika
So all along mmekuwa tu mkienda therapy hiyo time yote?
Yes.
Okay. Na wife akipeleka mtoi anaambiwa nini, ama mtoi alikuwa aje hiyo time?
Last time mtoto wako ameketi. We'll start with the first milestones of a child. Kitu ya kwanza inakuanga ni shingo kushika.
Okay.
Haiko imeshika. Mtoto hakuwa ameketi. And vitu kama crawling,
Okay.
hakuwa ameanza. All those milestones hakuwa ameachieve. So that is why the doctor was concerned mtoto hakuwa anapelekwa therapy. And I told you on the discharge summary, alikuwa mention something like going back for a clinic.
Okay.
On the same discharge summary, alikuwa indicate that the child will need to go for a hearing test. That is what I came to learn about that. The medication they used to treat my daughter is what now caused cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is just simply a brain damage. So the medication is what damaged the brain. On the same case, it damaged the hearing, the hearing of the child. So she both has cerebral palsy and she's hearing impaired. Nimekupeleka first, so let's go back now mahali tulikuwa tumefika.
Okay, kidogo tu. So ile medication alipewa akikuwa mdogo when she was being treated, jaundice ndio ilimu affect?
Yes, that is what affected the child.
Okay, got it.
You got me now?
Yes.
So when now we started going for therapy, ikawa the doctors are not telling us much about the condition and everything. So for me, I got concerned. Now I'm talking, nimekuambia naongea kuhusu now from 3 years. I got concerned on why my child is like this. Because naona wale walizaliwa na yeye at the same age wameshatembea, wameshaongea, wanajifanyia mambo zao zote. But my daughter is just hakuna kitu anaweza jifanyia. Mpaka toileting is an issue for her. Alikuwa kwa diapers all through. Even now she's still on diapers at 10 years. So nilianza kujiengage so much on what cerebral palsy is, what brings, what are causes of cerebral palsy and everything. And that is the time now I came to realize now my daughter has a condition, and this is a lifetime condition. Haitawahi isha. It's not a disease, it's a condition. So haitaifika mahali ati amepona. That is the time now I came to accept everything. And for me, I would say the journey has been tough, but on the other hand, it's a bit easy because I did accept myself to a child with a disability. Okay.
And Patrick, how was the acceptance for you and even your wife, considering it's your wife mwenye amekuwa akienda naye hosi, amekuwa akimpeleka therapy hii time yote? Niko sure, I'm sure nobody nobody would want to like have a baby mwenye ako na shida. We all pray for healthy babies, but I'm sure for her it was something else, considering she was the mom. Then we come to you as the dad, and even nyinyi mkikuwa pamoja kama familia, ama when you were raising this baby together at that time, how was it for you mentally, psychologically?
It wasn't easy, and I would say acceptance is the hardest part of the journey. Once you accept, everything flows. But for you to accept, for you to come into terms that you have a child with a disability, that is the greatest part. But for us, I think even the nurses and the doctors played a very huge role for us to explain to us about the condition, about everything, how she lives. I think that is what brought us to now to accept everything. And like now, I've met so many parents with children with disability, but I always tell them, please, the best thing you can do to your child is to accept that you have a child with a disability. Then from there, the journey changes and it flows very well. Yes.
I hear you. Na niko sure medication ya mtoi mwenye ako na cerebral palsy is quite something. Tell us about medication na venye hata mnapata help. Niko sure it's very expensive to kutibu mtoto mwenye ako na cerebral palsy. The visits for therapy.
One thing you need to understand about the condition, it's classified. There is those you'll find they are mild, meaning that they are not that much hit by the condition. And there is the moderate, or just between, and there is the severe one. So you'll find, let's take a case of my daughter. She's mild. She just has a mild CP. So yeye hakuna dawa anatumia. And again, the magnitude of the condition, it didn't like hit her so much. As in the brain damage didn't got that damage. So she's not on medication. But I will speak on the same for the cases that I've met. There are those that are severe. And for them, they have to use anticonvulsants. These are medication to prevent the child from convulsions. And it's not that easy for them, because you'll find they are quite expensive. You'll find that a child can use like 10,000 in a month. And maybe the family is not that well up. So you'll find it's not easy. It's actually very difficult for them. Again, go to diapers. Most of these kids are on diapers 24/7. I think those are the most challenging areas to parents with children with disabilities, and more so cerebral palsy.
I hear you. And unajua mi husema kitu moja, if like your baby is abled differently, kuna vitu zingine unaona anafanya ama anaachieve na unafurahi sana kama mzazi. So what are some of these things that enye ako abled differently from apart from hizi kama milestones hizi zingine za watoto? Niko sure tu kuna kitu moja, maybe she loves music, I don't know. Just tell us that.
Despite her being hearing impaired, you'd like put on some music. Now she's enjoying it. So that gives me some morale. naangalia naona some days to come labda the hearing will improve. Other than that, she can sit on her own. And this is quite a very, it's quite an something to inspire me. Sababu kujikalisha peke yake, it's not that easy. Comparing that nimekuambia the condition is classified. There are those who are mild na hawawezi kukepita wenyewe. So for me, I count it as an achievement to her. And many other things like anaona, okay, the sight was not affected at all, so she can see you. Every time amekuona umefika kwa nyumba, she's like excited, everything. Unlike now the previous years, hakuwa ana respond to such things. But right now, she's like, okay, I will say I carry her like just like any other child. Sababu ye mwenyewe akikuangalia tu unaona you are communicating. Other than now, you can't communicate like verbally, but you are connecting. Yes.
I hear you. Na time mnaenda job, like if you're going to work or the mom is going to work, who takes care of her?
She has a house help. So every time tumetoka anaachwa mtu, hawezi baki peke yake. Lazima kae na mtu wa kumwangalia. Every time amepata njaa, lazima ata respond. Kuna vile huwa na respond.
Okay.
So lazima utajua yeye mwenyewe. So you have to like learn her every time. Akisikia njaa, kuna vile unaona kuna some communication anafanya. Every time she wants like to release herself, kuna some communication. So you have to like stay with her ndio mpone kabisa. Yeah.
And does she go to school? Okay, she doesn't go to school, but niko sure kuna venye anajifunza tu vitu home. Maybe unaweza tuambia unamfunza aje, and yeah, kitu kama hiyo.
Bado hajaingia shule. And the reason for that is because you see she has two conditions.
Yeah.
She has CP and she's hearing impaired. So one condition affects the other. She can't join a deaf school because of the CP. She can't join a CP school because of the hearing impairment. But now we have improvised our own ways of like making her understand the environment. We will use diagrams, like you'll draw a diagram on a piece of paper and hang it somewhere on a wall. Whenever she feels like she wants to like quench her thirst, you've drawn a cup. So you'll point at that cup and she'll respond. You'll see how she responds. If she wants to feed, umechora sahani mahali, and whenever you show her, she responds very well. So that is how we go by our vile tunamfundisha. Pole to like, you know, she can't like sit in a class like any other child ndio mfundishe. So you have to go vile yeye mwenyewe anataka, si vile wewe mwenyewe unataka. But it's just the basic things in life, like now feeding, releasing herself, and things like that. Yes.
I hear you. Now, for example, okay, Nico, she's 10 years old. She's a big girl for sure. 10 years si jokes. Huyo ni mtoto ametoka mbali, and bado akona, she has a long way to go. And akona peers wake. How do you make her peers interact with her? Like watoto wengine socializing with even cousins, kama akona brother, sister, auntie.
Even before we get to other peers, akona siblings.
Akona siblings,
Yeah. And from that now is what makes it easy for even outside, for her outside to relate with the others. Apart from that, we do educate like the cousins. We do tell them that she has a condition and they are ready to listen. And unamwelezea she has this condition, it affects her like this. So whenever you handle her like just like any other child. So it makes it easy for her to relate with the peers outside there.
And is she the firstborn? Am I second? Am I last?
She's the firstborn.
She's the firstborn. Okay.
Yes.
And okay, what niko sure kwa hii journey yako ya fatherhood, kuna kitu moja umelearn as a dad, and despite the challenges that you've gone through, you're very hopeful. I can tell from the way you talk, the way any small milestone una celebrate as a dad, and I'm sure it's the same to the mom. So what's your greatest lesson that you've learned as a dad? And you can also give us a parting shot and just encourage a parent mwenye ako na mtoto who is able differently. Of course, I wouldn't want to call it disability. She is able differently in her own way. So just talk to that parent, and first, before utuambie the greatest lesson you've learned in life, in your journey of fatherhood.
The greatest one I've learned is that no one plans for the future, even if you do plan physically, but no one knows that you'll ever get married. And if you'll ever get married, what type of children you'll ever have. For me, I never expected such a child, because I used to see them, but I never thought that I could find myself in such a situation. So let us not take it like kuna wale hupata wale watoto. Unaona, kuna wale hupata wao watoto na kuna wale hawezi pata. Everyone can. We always say disability is an open club, and everyone is a candidate. Wherever you are, whenever time it is. So everyone, let us all be like inclusive. Let us embrace those with those children. Coming to encourage a parent with such a child, it's not the end of the journey. It's actually the starting of another journey. You learn as time goes by. Embrace that child. Accept, and whenever you accept, the journey will be easy for you. After acceptance, you'll need to learn. Learn about the conditions your child has. Okay. For me, I always refer to them as conditions, not even like disabilities, because we've seen so many children with those conditions and just doing so much. So learn about that condition. Get to know everything about it. That is the challenge I always give parents to children with CP. Like now we have a support group for parents with children with cerebral palsy. And whenever like a parent joins the group, we are in WhatsApp. Whenever a parent joins the group, they feel that they are at home. Because whatever they ask, they are answered. Whatever they want to know about the condition, I always take that as my challenge, as my work to tell them, to educate them about the condition and to bring them to now acceptance. That is what I always do. Yes.
Wow, thank you so much, Patrick. May wish you nothing but the best. I'm sure God will guide you through this journey. There's a reason as to why you have that baby, and I'm sure God's grace will be sufficient for you and your wife and even your family to be able to take care of your baby and even raise the other kids in the best way possible you can. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing your story. So guys, thank you for tuning in to the Parenting Show. This has been my story with Patrick. Patrick ameshare story yake, niko sure 1 or 2 people wamekuwa touched, and ameshare hata encourage parents out here. Let's take a short commercial break. Coming up next is Parenting 1-on-1 with Juliet. Don't go anywhere.